This is Andy Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and I'm delighted to be joined by the savage Alen Babic over Zoom. Alen, first and foremost, how are you doing?
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. I'm doing awesome. Just waiting for matches, training, fighting everybody I can fight, and that's it. Very good.
Alen, you've kind of, since you fought Shaundell Winters, you've caught the imagination of the British public. Have you seen just how much everybody's kind of taken to you and is excited to see more of you?
Yeah, that's what I wanted, because it's not just the fight; it's the way I talk. I'm different. That's what I say. I'm different than all of these guys, and I want to bring something new. I don't want to box with them. I'm just another guy. I'm from Croatia, so it's not very popular. But the English fans took me like I'm their own. They're like, you need to wear our flag and stuff. I'm like, whoa, it's crazy. Love is crazy because I'm honest. I'm for real. Whatever I say, I'm gonna go like that every time, and I want people to like me for who I am. That I think that's the best thing you can have.
We'll obviously go back to the night when you defeated Shaundell before moving forwards. But just going back to that night, you mentioned how much the British fans have taken to you and how much they enjoy seeing you. How much of a shame was it that nobody could be in attendance to watch your victory against Shaundell Winters?
Well, listen, I am fighting for the fans. I mean, I am really. I think boxing is a spectator sport, so it was pretty. I would be even more of a savage if fans were there, but I'm used to it. I always fought on the backyards and everything. I never had fans. This is like actually my first time. I have such a fan base. It's unreal, unreal. My Instagram got fucked. Felt that I could never imagine that. I'm a humble guy, but people like the savage. I know they don't like me personally because I'm not that interesting, but the savage is fucked up. He doesn't care about nobody, and I love the savage, so I'm glad they love him too. Because it was a slippery stuff. Because I cursed a lot and I did a lot of things many people don't like, and I was like, they're gonna fucking hate me. Because I went all out. Like bouncer shit, but people loved it, and it's so beautiful for me.
I think one thing which certainly the British and most boxing fans, to be fair, love is just honesty. And it's one thing that we've always seen from yourself, Alen. You've always been honest and you've never kind of hidden behind your personality. Is that something that's big for you? You always want to come across in your true form. You don't want to hide behind your words.
Yeah, listen, that's true because I really am different boxer. I'm not like these guys. Like this. I have like this Mike Bennett. He's a good boxer, but he's just a boxer. I'm not a boxer. I go in like I go into war. I don't go just into a boxing match. I don't care about that. I don't care about left hooks, jabs and stuff. I don't care. I just want to destroy you. I don't care about referee. I don't care about judges. I don't care about promoters. Nothing. I want to be people champ. And I succeeded in doing that, and that is the most beautiful thing I can ask for. Because as long as fans wants to see me, I'm gonna leave out to boxing. I don't need like expensive cars, but I can leave out to boxing and be a modern day gladiator. I think that is the best thing you can be.
I'm sure the fans will want to see more of you, yeah, Alen. Let's go back to the victory over Shaundell Winters, a second round stoppage. Just reflect on your performance for me, Alen. How would you assess it?
I I'm like that every single time. It was nothing special for me. I knew it. I said it to everybody. Boxing is not ready. I said it in the interview before. Boxing world is not ready because Chandel is a great fighter. He's a good fighter, but he's a fighter. I'm not a fighter. I'm something else. I don't even know what I am yet. Fucking savage is crazy. I want blood in the ring. I know I'm not like that usually. I'm really a humble guy, and I would never hurt nobody. But when I go into that state of mind, I'm scared of myself. When I look at that fight, I don't care, bro. I hit you behind the head. I hit you in your spine. I hit you in your knee. I don't fucking care. Whatever it takes.
Alen,
So that's why I don't see them beating me. I don't see none of them beating me.
just before we continue with that, you mentioned when you're in fight mode, you're a different person. You're the savage when you're in fight mode. Away from that, you're different. You're not like that. What's the difference between your normal character and the savage?
Well, it's a big difference, because listen, Alen is a humble guy from a small coastal town in smaller country, in Croatia. So I could at best be a waiter or chef or something, be a cook or something. And I don't know how to cook. I don't know how to fucking carry drinks. I will spill it all over. So I need to do something different. And I can't talk to Eddie Hearn, to Chandel Winters like that if I'm a humble guy from Croatia. Nobody would watch that. I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm going to be champion. No, it's boring. Everybody says that. So I needed to create something different. And then I started to feel the fucking savage, because I did first fight. I knocked out Morgan Desau. But nobody took interest in me because I was Alen. I was like, yeah, it was a good fight, but nobody cared. It was even better knockout than this. It was 15-second knockout, you know. But that's what I say. I need fans to like me. I want fans on my side, because as long as fans want to see me, I'm gonna leave out of boxing. That's so simple. I don't see how people don't understand that today. They want to be good with managers, promoters. I don't fucking care about that. Just give me fights and let the fans decide. I want fans to match me in the fights. Like old school fans. I want fans to want to see me, my style against somebody else's style. Let's say, example, David Price. He's a big, tall, lengthy guy. I'm a small slugger. Let's see what happens. That is the interesting in boxing. I love boxing. I would like to see that fight, Savage versus Price.
There's plenty of people we can touch on in a second, Alan, but let's go back to Shaundell Winters. We mentioned second round stoppage win. He fought Joseph Parker last time out for himself, and he took Joseph till the middle rounds until he stopped him. Do you feel you made a statement by being able to stop him earlier than what Joseph Parker did?
Yeah, of course. And through whole of the camp, I knew that was going to happen. And everybody just telling he was a big favorite. I was the underdog, as always. And everybody's telling, oh, Chandel is good. And I was like, yeah, just keep saying that. That's good. Keep rising him up. He's going to fall. He's going to fall bad. I knew it. My coach knew it. And my guy, my cutman knew it. And that's it. All three people in the world. And I knew it was going to happen. I said it on the press conference because there's nothing he can do. He can't do nothing else. He gave it his best, and he failed. Because I'm younger, I'm stronger, and like I said, I'm different. So I think it was a big statement. But because of me, I'm a modern day gladiator. You don't see people like that. Everybody's like money, rich, cars. Everybody's the same. I don't want to get hit. I want to get hit. Hit me. Just make me angry. I want to do that. People want to see that. Nobody's gonna pay to see me run around the ring for 8 rounds. I would be devastated if I went 8 rounds with Chandel. If I won split decision, I would leave boxing. I said, oh, fuck this shit. I'm not for that.
After the fight, Alan, you called out fellow countryman Filip Hrgovic. Just go back to that, because I know that you'd actually previously sparred him quite a lot, and obviously in your past life as a bouncer, you've said in a previous interview you'd work as a bouncer and you'd go and spar Filip straight after. How come you were so insistent on wanting to face Filip, and how big of a fight would that be for Croatia?
Yeah, listen, there is a few person I don't like in life, and Filip is on top of them. I don't like him. I just don't like to see them. I don't like him as a person. I don't like him as a friend. I don't like him as anything. So there's a real hatred between us. He doesn't like me also. It's mutual. He talks shit all the time on the press. But nobody listens to him because he doesn't even know how to speak English. So we can't even fight. It's depressing. But listen, Hrgovic is, I don't know how to say it. I want to fight him tomorrow, but he has better name than me still. I want to do some fights, but it's gonna happen. It's gonna be big for Croatia, because Croatia never had such a rivalry between top 100 boxers too. And listen, he doesn't want to fight me. That means he doesn't want to give the Croatian people that rivalry. Why are you doing that? People want to see that Croatia, all of the Croatia would come to a stadium if we fought. Well, give the people what they want. It's not about you. It's not about Hrgovic. It's not about Alen. It's not about Savage either. Just give the people what the fuck want. Everybody wants that fight in Croatia. So why do you play like, oh, I'm not gonna fight, I'm too good? Yeah, nobody. He's fighting some guy who hadn't even had a fight in 6 years. Now he's fighting some bum. Nobody never heard about it. Tell me one fan who's gonna watch that. Not a single fan is gonna watch that fight. But this fight is for fans. It's not for you.
where's this rivalry and this kind of, you know, you said both you and Filip, you hate each other. Where's it all come from? Where's it started from?
Well, listen, it started. He was always like that. Listen, I was bullied when I was little. You know, I had problems with bullies. And nobody would say that today, but I do. You know, they fucking bullied me, and I don't like bullies. And he's a classic bully. You know, oh, look at me, I'm the best, I'm the pretty. Oh, shut the fuck up. You know, I'm this, I'm this, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do nothing. You know, I don't like people like that. I like bullies. I want to fight them all of my life. I want to fight for the underdogs. You know, I want to be people champ because I want to be for the smallest of them. You know, I don't want to be from the men ties. They're good. They're set for life. I want to be for the ordinary people. You know, like me, like myself. I'm ordinary people. I'm not nothing special. You know, I'm just good at boxing. You're better than me at these interviews. You're better than me in 10 other things, and I understand that. And he doesn't understand that. He thinks he's on top of the world. You're just a boxer, bro. You're just a modern day gladiator. People pay to see us share blood. You know, who doesn't understand that? You gotta be stupid not to understand that. You know.
Alan, a few other names which were mentioned. Eddie Hearns mentioned that he'd like to see you with the likes of Nick Webb and Tom Little. I did an interview with Tom Little and Nick Webb since your fight. Both of them said they'd like to fight you. Tom Little said he'd previously been offered the fight against you, but he turned it down when you fought Shondell Winters. Are both of those two names and both of those two guys people you'd like to fight now?
Yeah, Nick Webb also turned the fight down. He was offered the fight before Tom Little. Yeah, I said Nick Webb is big. Give me Nick Webb. You know, I want Nick Webb. And Dillian said, okay, it's a good fight. And they sent him offer. He said no. He turned down the fight against Fabio Worley also. It was all in the same week. So he doesn't want to fight Dillian White guys, you know, because you're fucking crazy. He knows that. But Tom Little is a very cool guy. He's my friend, you know. We share messages. I think he's fucking crazy like I am, you know. He's a fucking lunatic. So that would be also fine for the fans because there would be no jabbing, no distance measuring, no looking. Straight out war. Three rounds tops and somebody goes to sleep, you know.
What do you make of, you know, some pundits say that because you're still, you know, only 4-0 on your record and the way that you fight, you know, pundits are saying that maybe when you fight a better opposition, you'll leave yourself exposed defensively because of your style. What do you make of those comments?
Well, that is the beautiful thing about boxing. I want to see what happens. Really, I do want to see. I had 100 amateur fights. Nobody kept me at distance. I fought Russians. I fought Uzbekistan. I fought Cuba. I fought everybody. Nobody kept me at distance. They could do it for 3 rounds, you know, little than this and that. But it was a hard fight. Every single one of my fights were hard. So I want to see somebody put me to distance. And then I want to see, oh, look, beautiful. This guy is good because if you can keep me at distance, you're fucking excellent. You know, I'm gonna give you my hands. I thought even Shondell Winters could do it. That was a possibility. I went for a guy who was 200 places in front of me. It was a big possibility he could do that. But you saw what happened, you know, because I'm just too ferocious. You know, I'm Jack Dempsey, Rocky Marciano. I'm their cloth, you know, different. You know, I'm Joe Frazier. He never took step back. You know, I'm never. Listen, I'm small, but I fight big. Everybody who understands something about boxing is gonna see that from my fight. I fight big. I fight like I have 300 pounds. I don't need them pounds, you know.
Another name which has come up and he said he'd like to fight you, Dave Allen. Is that a fight you'd be interested in, a fight you'd like?
Well, listen, of course, that's the biggest fight of them all for me because he's like 42nd in the world. So I would like to scalp him, you know, to take his place. Yes, please. Just give him. I like him. I like Dave Allen. Listen, he has a good story. I think me myself has I have a good story. You know, I have a story because I bring it to the ring 10 years of my life. You know, I'm an emotional guy, so I think Dave Allen is on the same page, even better than me in that he been through a lot. You know, so I like him. I like that fight. I think it will be a very emotional fight. But I see him as an ordinary boxer. He just boxes. He doesn't do all this extra stuff I do. You know, I want to go in and I want to die in the ring, you know, because fucking crazy. So I don't think he can cope with that. I'm not gonna stand him. I don't think he's calling me out. But how is he gonna box me? He just stands and wait. I'm never gonna wait for nobody. If you wait for me, Shondell Winter's gonna happen to you. You know.
Alan, just to touch on as well, um, Whyte-Povetkin, obviously Dillian, your manager, uh, coming up short on that night. Alexander Povetkin with a stunning fifth round uppercut to stop that fight. Just touch on that for me, Alan. What was your thoughts and your reaction to seeing that?
Yeah, I was shell shocked. That's the best way to say, because I was ringside, of course, watching Dillian, and he was beating him up for 4 rounds, like viciously. And that's what we worked on in the sparring. Just go in and beat him. I told him, don't box with Olympic champion. It's not a good way. I couldn't box with Chandel Winters. I don't want to. But if I box with Chandel Winters, same thing might happen. And Dillian just gave him the chance, just waited for a second too long. And Povetkin took it. It was one of the best uppercuts I ever saw in my life. It's heavyweight boxing, and the gloves are really fucking small. I don't know who approved them, bro. I broke both of my ankles this fight. Oh no, not ankles. This guy. What do you call them? Knuckles. Yeah, I broke both of my knuckles. I hit hard, but those gloves are tiny. It's like a piece of paper, a sheet of paper. So I told him, don't wait for it. And Povetkin did his calculations. He's a fucking Olympic champion. So you can't wait for a guy like that. And Dillian made a mistake and paid for it. But he's good. He said, I'm training. I'm waiting for another fight. And actually, after the fight, Dillian was crisp. He was good. And Povetkin was one who shook up. So that says a lot. I think that fight drew a lot more out of Povetkin than it did Dillian.
Alan, Dillian, he's going in for that rematch. When Anthony Joshua lost to Andi Ruiz Jr., people thought, or people suggested maybe he should fight somebody else before fighting Andi Ruiz Jr. straight away once again. In Dillian's case, on the back of such a stunning knockout, such a heavy knockdown, would you go straight back in for the rematch, or would you fight somebody else first if you was in Dillian's shoes?
No, just straight back. That's not our way. Me and Dillian are almost the same. He's a fucking savage, original savage. So no, there's no why. Why would he fight somebody? He already proved himself. If he lost again, he should get again a chance, because he's a superstar. Everybody wants to see him. He beat the game of boxing. He was knocked out. Nobody even said that. They just said, "Oh, it's gonna be a rematch." You know how big that is. If I lost by knockout, nobody would know my name. You wouldn't come there right now. Nobody would know I existed. So I think Dillian Whyte beat the game of boxing, and he can do whatever the fuck he wants. Really, people are gonna see it. People are gonna see him just jog. People are gonna pay millions to see him. So I think he should fight Povetkin, because again, I said he was looking better than Povetkin after the fight. People don't know that. It was just a knockout. It was just like 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and he was okay. He was good up, and he can take a punch. I know that. We did 50 rounds, so nothing bothered him. He's gonna go in as a new man.
Alan, there's just one more fight in the heavyweight division I want to get your thoughts on. We're waiting for official confirmation of a date, but it's known that it should happen very soon. Daniel Dubois versus Joe Joyce. Alan, what do you make of that fight?
Well, I think it's a fight boxing needs. I like them both. I like them both. Dubois is such a promising guy, and he acts well. He reminds me of Joe Louis. He's all good, kind, but he's a fucking animal in the ring. And I really like Dubois. Listen, Joe Joyce, I know he beat Hrgovic. I know him from that fight. I like him. A lot of punches. I like both of them guys. I would give Dubois an edge, because he's really on the upward spiral. And Joe Joyce has been through a lot in boxing, and it can wear you out. He had, like, I don't know, 200 amateur matches, fights. So it can wear you out. Dubois is a much fresher guy. He's very powerful, very young, very, very eager, and he's a good character, and I would pick Dubois, but I like Joe Joyce also because of his style.
And then the final thing I want to touch on you with before I leave you to enjoy the rest of your night. You've mentioned a lot of not heavyweight legends, just legends of the sport throughout this interview. The likes of Roberto Duran, Joe Frazier, Joe Louis, amongst many others. Who was it that you watched growing up? I know you love your legends of the sport and you watched boxing religiously growing up. But who was the ones which you looked at and you thought, I want to be like them?
Well, of course, the first one I ever watched was Mike Tyson, because who didn't watch Mike Tyson? And I see my style as similar as his. because I will have 10 fights, 10 knockouts, you know, and then people are going to recognize me. But I'm telling you now, I'm going like that. Mike Tyson was like me. He didn't care about boxing. He didn't box with nobody. He just fucking demolished guys. But he was never my idol. You know? My idol was Joe Frazier because of his humbleness. And I just love the guy. And I watched every single interview on YouTube and every single fight. I love his ferociousness. I think Frazier would beat Tyson in a fight, you know, because he had that something extra. Tyson was better in every aspect. Like they are better than me. They are better. Hrgovic. Hrgovic is better in every aspect of the game than me. But I have that something extra, you know. I think I would physically, psychologically kill him. You know, he can't handle the pressure. And Fraser had that. Imagine that you beat Muhammad Ali. So the whole world is turned against you. He was the #1 world enemy, you know. He should move to Mars, you know. And he just took that on the chin and just go on his way, you know. So Joe Frazier was really my idol, but I also watch a lot of Duran, a lot of Marvin Hagler, all of those guys. Carlos Monzon, just watch Carlos Monzon, YouTube documentary like 15 minutes ago. So I look at them all the time, but all the old school. I don't watch now, you know. I really like Dillian Whyte even before I met him. Dillian Whyte and Chisora fight. I think that was a proper throwback fight, and that was like I was like, yes, this is good. It's good. I never saw this kind of fight in my time, you know. And I like Joshua Klitschko first fight. It was very good. So Arturo Gatti, Ward, and we go just lower, you know, to 80s, 90s, 70s, you know. So I am really a student of boxing, and I love boxing. I know them all from the Jack Johnson to the Dillian Whyte era.
Alen, what's your favourite fight of all time? The one fight you watch continuously?
Yeah, it's easy. It's Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier. But third fight, yeah, it was fucking amazing. I watched that fight a million times. Muhammad Ali, Frazier, Trilla in Manila. It was just battle of the wills. You know, they weren't that great. You know, they were just they were on the downward spiral, but they just met at a perfect touch, and they almost died in the ring. And you know, I got goosebumps right now. You know, and that's what I want. I want to get to that legacy fight, and then I want to fight Hrgovic on the one of the stadiums in Croatia. You know, I'm gonna wait. It's no problem. I'm young. I'm 29 years old, so he's 28. We can wait for 5 years, but it's gonna happen. And that's what I want. Just a legacy fight to, you know, and for people to know me. You know, I don't care about money and stuff. I care about legacy. You know, I want to be like. I dare to be like those guys. You know, now when you say I want to be like Mike Tyson, everybody's like, oh, shut the fuck up. But even Mike Tyson had to start somewhere. You know, even Joe Frazier, even Muhammad Ali. And I just dare to be as great as them. And I'm going to show it. You know, I'm going to go their way. And if I'm not good enough, if somebody outboxes me, I'm going to say I'm not that good. You know, I'm going to quit boxing. I said for Chandel Winters, if I lose to Chandel Winters, I'm going to quit boxing because I didn't come into the sport to beat Chandel Winters. I didn't even know who he was. I came in to be the top guys. I came in to make my legacy, you know.
Alen, I will leave it there. I will leave you to enjoy the rest of your evening. Looks like a beautiful backdrop behind you in Croatia.
Yeah.
But for all of your adoring fans, for everyone who tunes in to watch our interview, what would you like to say to them?
This is my fans. Look at them. That's my army, you know. It's reptiles. They attack all of my opponents online. They're crazy, you know. If you fight me, you're going to deal with them. You know, I got an army of 18,000 fans, you know, so I just love them all, bro. Because I wasn't always a fan favorite, you know. In Croatia, I was always the underdog, always. And nobody loves the underdog until it succeeds, you know that. Everybody hates the underdog until he makes something, you know. And I did that on that night on Eddie Hearst's Garden. So it really just changed my whole life for me, you know, because I went from the shittiest underdog to champion in my Croatia. You know, people like me more than they like Hrgovic, and he won Olympic medal for Croatia. How stupid must you be to, you know, to fuck that up, you know? So yeah, thank you all my fans. Thank you all for calling me for these interviews. Thank you UK fans, and I'm gonna give you good fights. I think I'm gonna have 3 fights till the end of the year, so you can enjoy my fights.
There's one more question, Alen. I'm sorry to keep you for a bit longer, but you mentioned obviously how you changed your life. Have you, when you're walking around Croatia now, are you being recognised more? Are you being spotted more? People coming asking for autographs?
Listen, a guy called me, you know, from he owns some restaurant stuff, and he said he want to pay my apartment because I live, you know, on the rent. I was like, what the fuck? And the other guy just managed to get me a new car. What the fuck? Those are my ordinary fans, you know. And the third guy made 500 T-shirts from Savage. I'm gonna have Savage logo and stuff. The fourth guy made me a Savage logo. So it's amazing, amazing, bro. I went to my hometown city of Rovinj, you know, in Croatia after the fight, and I was in a bar and I was just drinking coffee, and as soon as my coffee touches the the table, somebody paid for it already. It's crazy, you know. I couldn't pay for nothing, and people really do. They accepted me with so much love, you know? And I cursed a lot on that on
In
that
that one.
fight, and everybody took it because that was really me, you know. So I'm just, you know, Alen is honored as much as a man can be.
Alen, it's been a pleasure to speak to you tonight. I will leave you now. Thank you for your time. Stay safe, and I'll hopefully see you soon. Thank you for speaking to Boxing Social.
Thank you, my brother. It was a pleasure too.